Well, here we are, another windy day and another video. It seems like that every time I come outside to make a video, the wind is blowing anymore. I have the wireless microphone on now, so maybe the audio will be okay. This usually does pretty good in the wind, so hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed. Anyway, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know I'm a big proponent of emergency preparedness. You know, because things happen unexpectedly. We need to be prepared for those things that may happen. Unfortunately, anytime I mention anything about world events that need to be prepared, I get pretty much the same type comments every single time from a few people. Like this one here was posted yesterday. If God takes care of the sparrows, He'll take care of us. And like I said, I see that pretty much the same exact comment all the time. And it's an excuse, in my opinion, from people who don't want to do anything for themselves. They want to lay back and think that God's going to save them when bad things happen. It's sad, really. And you know, even if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, even if you're not a Christian, this video should be important because it shows the mindset of people. They look for any excuse to not do anything for themselves. And when it comes to a lot of Christians, not all, but a lot of Christians, they don't want to do anything for themselves. They want to rely on that God will provide. No matter what happens, God will provide. God will protect me. When my pantry gets completely empty of food, God will come to my door and knock and bring me a Big Mac and some fries and a Coke. It seems to be the mindset of these people. And that's unfortunate because apparently they completely overlook history. They completely overlook everything that's said in the Bible, everything that's happened to Christians throughout history. I mean, if you think about it, look at all the famines that Christians have been involved in, that Christians has suffered and starved and perished. Look at all the bad things that's happened. I mean, it's all that through history. We've had Christians that's been enslaved. They have been believers in Jesus Christ, believers in God. They've been enslaved. They have been starved. There's been famine after famine. There's been war. There's been genocide. They've suffered. But somehow, these modern Christians now think that they're better than anyone else that came before them, apparently. I mean, if you look at the Holocaust, for example, and if you believe what was written in our history, his story about the Holocaust, and you believe where it says that the Jews are God's chosen people. So we have there God's chosen people, according to the Bible, according to history, over 6 million of God's chosen favorite people were put in gas chambers, or put in work camps, were starved, were killed, were murdered. 6 million people. And these, according to the Bible and according to Christians, or most Christians, are God's 100% favorite, chosen people. The people who have a covenant with God, but they were rounded up, put in gas chambers, put in concentration camps, put in work camps, slave camps, and worked, were starved, were shot, killed, murdered, raped. All kinds of scientific tests done on these people. We have 6 million people, God's chosen people, that were put to death. And these people still yet, these modern Christians, think somehow they're better than God's chosen people. I mean, really? They think that no suffering is going to ever come to them, that God's going to provide. They fail to look at history, look at what's written in the King James Version of the Bible. I don't get it. I really don't. How can people be so completely naive and oblivious to everything that's going on? Another thing that I hear very often from modern Christians is that God is in control. No need to worry, because God is in control. And I made a video about this about a year ago, sitting right here to this exact same spot actually, because I hear the same thing all the time. God is in control. And like I said in that video, God doesn't control. We have free will, and we use that free will for our own greed, lust, envy, our own pleasures, our own desires, our own power struggles. We use that free will mostly for evil. But God gives us free will. He doesn't control. And if you read, the Bible, it talks about Satan being the prince of this earth. Satan being pretty much in control of this earth. God could control. He could control everyone like, your androids. But he doesn't. He gives us free will. And unfortunately, Satan, according to the Bible, is on this earth and has great influence. If you look at the second temptation of Jesus Christ himself, the devil takes Jesus to a high place and shows him all the kingdoms of the world, offering them to him if he will worship him. Jesus responds, "Get behind me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord thy God and serve him only." So we have Satan taking Jesus Christ and offering him all the kingdoms of the world. So how could Satan offer Jesus Christ all the kingdoms of the world if they weren't his? If he hadn't been put in control of all of it. Something to think about. But it seems like modern Christians completely skip over that. And this here is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2. Satan is also called the prince of the power of the air in Ephesians 2, verse 2. He is the ruler of the world. In John 12:31, these titles and many more signify Satan's capabilities. He wields a certain amount of authority and power in this world. He is not a king, but a prince, a ruler of some sort. In some way, he rules over the world and the people in it. The whole world is under control of the evil one. And even, it's obvious if you read the Bible. But people, they don't want to see it. They don't want to believe it. They don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept that they have responsibility to take care of themselves and take care of their families. And they can't realistically use the Bible as a crutch for their own laziness and for doing nothing. And this goes, for business or anything. Really, if you think about it, people use God as a crutch. What'll happen will happen. Not going to worry about it no more. God's in control. No worries. La di la la, la di la, la di la la, da da. No worries at all, because God's in control. I don't have to think. I don't have to do anything. And God will provide. Things get bad, God will provide. He provides for the birds. But the birds go out and they fly, they hunt, they dig. They actually do things for themselves. And you're not a bird. You're a human. Hopefully. Really. There's so many excuses people use, but those are the two main ones. God will provide, and God's in control. Like I said, God does control. We have free will in this world. That should be obvious. And to me, someone telling someone else that doesn't really know about Christianity and about the Bible or anything like that, and they will tell people that God's in control. These other people that don't really know much about the Bible or about Christianity or about any of this stuff, they're looking at that person and saying, so God's in control of this mess? Really? God's behind all the complete evil that's happened in history, all the genocide, the famines, all the actual pandemics, all the death, all the evil, all the evil people's done to each other. Over the years, over the decades, over the centuries, over time, over history. And they're looking at that person and saying, God's in control. If God's in control, then all this stuff has happened. Then that's not good. That's definitely not a good resume. But the truth of the matter is, see, that makes God look bad. But it's not God. God no control. Satan's on this earth. Satan is the prince of this earth. And we have free will. And Satan will use that free will to bend and to twist and to control and to make things as miserable as possible. But you have these modern Christians out here. God's in control. No need to worry. God's in control. And we see the world in complete, utter chaos. Genocide, murder, rape, famine, sickness, illness. But God's in control. I know some of you all probably don't like this video. And I was hesitant for about 2 minutes whether or not to make this video on this channel. But it needs to be said. And this goes, like I said, it just isn't for being prepared. It's for pretty much everything. If you realize you have free will, you need to use your free will to do good, to do what needs to be done for yourself, for your family, to get off your ass and stop saying God will provide. God provides you with the knowledge and the brain to actually go out and do something, to actually get prepared for those unexpected, sudden catastrophes and events. He gives you a brain to work, to prepare, to do things for yourself and for your family, to build, to work, to pay your bills, to start a business. He doesn't just hand you money over. The government will do that sometimes, but they always want control. You know, we got all the welfare and the food stamps and everything that goes along with the EB, whatever it's called, the food stamp card thing that people get. The government provides and gives away a lot, unfortunately, but it comes with strings attached. You don't want to be that way. You want to provide for yourself through your own hard work, in my opinion. I'm not talking about Social Security. I'm not talking about people that's worked all their life and had jobs and worked 40 years and retired. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about, that's another thing I'd get using. I mention anything about the government benefits people get. Oh, I worked all my life and my Social Security's fine. I ain't saying nothing about Social Security. My mom worked for 40 plus years and she gets Social Security. And she deserves it because she worked that many years and paid all those taxes in and things and actually produced something and done something. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people that are raised up and start getting a disability check for being crazy or something when they're 18 years old, and raised up in it. And their parents did the same thing. It's like generational welfare recipients. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, completely different topic I got off on, wasn't it? But the moral of this video is, God gives you enough sense to know to do things for yourself, to prepare, to work, to save, to build. That's His gift. He gives us free will and gives us knowledge and the ability to think and the reason. And if we don't use that, we just throw it all away and say, God will provide. It's not going to turn out good. And saying that God's in control, not going to worry about nothing, whatever happens will happen. That's not good either, because look around. Look at all the evil in the world. Look at everything that's happened throughout history. We have free will. Satan's on this earth. Satan is mostly in control of this earth. Especially the people who aren't really Christians, who aren't really believers in Christ. Satan is here and he controls those people pretty much completely. If you believe, in Christianity at all, and even if you don't, this video should be interesting because it shows the mindset, of modern Christians. Anyway, 14 minutes and 57 seconds right now. I'll cut a couple parts out of this video probably and upload this video, and hopefully you get something out of it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully.